Welcome to Stories with Dice. This is Star Trek Magellan, a Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition actual play podcast. If you're enjoying our actual plays, please subscribe to Stories with Dice so you'll never miss an episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. It really helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated. You'll find the relevant links in the description of each episode. It is the early 22nd century, 4 years after the founding of the United Federation of Planets. 5 years since the end of the Earth-Romulan War. Starfleet has renewed their mission of peaceful exploration. But something has gone terribly wrong at Cradle Station, a research outpost on the edge of Federation space. The crew is dead, its lead scientist missing. The USS Magellan's mission? Unravel the mystery of Cradle Station and boldly go where no one has gone before. Last time on Star Trek Magellan, the landing party located Dr. Corby at the crash site of a 700-year-old alien starship. Meanwhile, Chief Engineer Rhodes and a damage control team successfully extinguished deuterium fires in the fallen Cressida City, averting an ecological disaster. At the crash site, tentacled entities emerged from an anomaly, attacked Dr. Corby, and sent the landing party back to the Magellan. Moments later, the spatial anomaly, known to shift unpredictably, moved from the planet into orbit. Thousands of creatures poured out, passing through the ship's shields and latched on to the warp nacelles. The Magellan lurched violently as the anomaly began to pull it in. And now, the conclusion. The scene opens on the main bridge of the Magellan at red alert. The landing party has just appeared. Commander Cabal spins around in the command chair. That wasn't our transporter, he says. What was that, Captain?
I don't know, but I can only guess it's due to these interdimensional creatures that we encounter. I can still hear them in my head. What's the status?
This anomaly appeared in front of the ship just as soon as you arrived. He turns to the engineer who's on duty on the bridge, find out what those creatures are doing to the warped cells. Douglas, do you want to play Mr. Denner while your chief engineer is on the planet?
Yeah, sure. Someone else can play Blank and do his accent this time. Okay, but do I want to do an accent? Let's do terrible Russian, why not? Nuclear vessel.
Wessel. Nuclear vessel.
Yes. Aye, Captain. Okay, let me go do my check. What's going on? What's happening?
So that is a control and engineering task.
Control engineering. Is it relevant to the warp drive?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Nothing and a complication.
I am going to bank that complication for 2 threat.
Scott basically says over to the captain, Captain, bridge is no place for a chief medical officer. I'll be down in sickbay and I'll wander off the bridge. It's not helpful. I'm not going to help anyone here.
All right, so, Mr. Denner, you have discovered that the warp core is pulsating at irregular frequencies. The fluctuations are beating in unpredictable, overlapping patterns. A duplication effect is occurring. It is as if the warp nacelles are existing in 2 realities simultaneously.
Why are we moving?
He would probably turn to, the helm officer and be like, are we moving?
Captain, we are.
You're being pulled, so the gravity of the anomaly is pulling you toward it.
Would you like me to try and change course?
Yes. Get us out of here.
Sarah Holtz, who's the helmsman, is going to attempt to fight against this. Guessing control and con?
Correct. Your difficulty is going to be 5.
Guess I'm going to use helm operations as my focus. Difficulty 5. That should be fun. And I generate 1 extra momentum when I'm helming a starship. So we'll give it a go.
I will help with what? Control and command?
Do you know what?
Yes.
They give you one threat as well. Get an extra dice.
Okay, so I gave you one success.
Is the ship going to be relevant to this task?
So I got 4 successes.
So I assume it's the ship's engines to help maneuver?
Yes, that's correct.
Want to roll for the ship?
Yeah, I can roll for the ship.
So far, we've got 5 successes.
Dude, you guys are insane right now. Okay, so
Okay.
Let's get some momentum.
Yep. Let me have a look. Ship
about-
always rules if it's at focus. Do we have any relevant talent?
a ship always operates as if it has an appropriate focus.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just seeing if we got performing task, 1 dice, using focus. Ship go. 1 success from the ship.
The ship is shaking under the strain of pulling away from the anomaly, and you've managed to. You have not broken free from the anomaly, but you have now
Captain.
given yourself some distance from it at the moment.
Lieutenant Marius, I'm wondering now if it would be a good moment to use that Orion device. Close this. Is that even possible?
The device has not returned with you. Corby did not return with you as well. That was a complication generated with threat from last episode.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess I answered your question, Captain.
So,
What can we do then?
Carmelo, do you want to attempt a sensor sweep of the spatial anomaly?
I absolutely do. So that's going to be reason and science?
Yep. Your focus applies.
Okay. Rolling dice.
Okay. And Douglas, do you want to roll for the ships?
Yeah, sure.
Sensors and science?
Sensors of silence, plus it has high resolution science, which gives it extra bonus if it succeeds. So sensors and science. Focus. 1 dice. Off we go. And
Okay. So you've now generated 3 momentum plus your bonus momentum, correct? For your high resolution sensors. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Maris, sensors indicate that the anomaly is a quantum fissure. You estimate, thanks to the helmsman's quick thinking, she has now given you 40 minutes before the gravity of the anomaly overwhelms the Magellan and pulls you into it. And if you want to spend a point of momentum, you can ask me a question.
Right. Okay, I will definitely spend 1 to ask a question.
And remember, you have those creatures that have passed through your shields and are attaching themselves to the hull of your warp engines, which are affecting the warp engines in some strange way.
Could we use the warp engines in some way to make the creatures let go? Can we do something with the power of the warp engines? Shut them off? Change the frequency of them in some way?
Well, if you shut the engines off, you'll just be pulled right into the anomaly. You can certainly try to adjust
We ionize the hull.
the frequency. You can try to ionize the hull.
yeah, like this is technically a refitted Earth ship, right? Where they just stuck the shields on. Like we've still got technically the hull plating is still like the old hull plating, right?
No, this was a Columbia class built from scratch.
Yeah, but the shield was put in after the Columbia class was designed, right? Because they just had the hull plating.
Correct.
So do we still technically have the hull plating, just we don't use it anymore? So we could run something through the hull plating if we turned that back on.
Polarize the hull plating.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Okay.
Like, we'd probably have to go down to engineering, like, get those old systems, like, bypassed or something like that. But, like, what would we polarize? Like, electricity or, like, something? Or
So here's so there's a clock ticking. So you have 40 minutes before the ship is pulled into the anomaly. Every task that you now perform is going to take 10 minutes. So you have 4 tasks that you can perform before your 40 minutes are up.
So let's try this polarization thing, because why not? Second, it would be nice to get rid of these things on the warp nacelles, which I don't even know where to start, but I'm guessing we detach them somehow, with some kind of EMP or kind of electrical kind of currenty thingy.
Right, that's what they were discussing, the polarizing the hull.
Okay, but I thought they were inside. They are not inside.
No, they're not inside. No, they're on the outside of the ship. Yep.
Okay, so this polarization should do that.
How did we kill the other ones? Like the ones on the planet? We just shot them with a phaser.
Well, three of us aimed our phasers at it because the three phasers combined created enough power needed to destroy it.
Yeah.
So recreate the sort of like phaser effect on the whole plating somehow? That sort of energy? Does that make sense? Like maybe rewrite the phasers into the hull plating.
These polarizations probably should do that, no? In a way. Until it does that.
That sounds Star Trek-y.
If only we had a chief engineer here.
Yeah.
I know. So if you want to soup up the potential power of polarizing the hull, I'll just increase the complication range because you'll risk like blowing out, circuits in certain parts of the ship and things like that.
So Matt can go and do that. We'll send Matt to get this done, this polarization and rewiring all the stuff. Maris, what else can we do with this? Can you try to somehow, you were mentioning with using the warp cells, can we actually use the warp cells to close this rift?
We could use
something even possible.
Well, I was thinking if we could use the deflector dish. We might be able to create a tachyon wave.
Worth a try, man. Worth a try, Lieutenant Maris. Worth a try. Go get it done.
So I'll roll a reason and science again?
I'm going to say that is a daring and a science.
Daring and science. Got it.
Yep.
Take focus. Using focus.
I don't see a focus that applies.
Yeah, neither do I, actually. Okay, I'll just roll them.
See, you say we're really good at our rolls, but then we seem to get quite a lot of complications.
Yeah. Come really good sounding ideas and then fail horribly on the roll. So it's like, no. Sounded like it would work, didn't work.
If you want complications, I'm your guy.
You're setting up this tachyon pulse through the main deflector dish, and you blow out a bunch of relays. The ship is being strained right now because of the pull of the gravity of the anomaly. So that, coupled with you trying to set up this tachyon pulse, overtax some of the computer systems and blows out a couple of relays in the deflector in the deflector room. So any tasks now that you either use sensors or the deflector will increase by 1. So that was 10 minutes. You have 3 more tasks left.
But let's try the polarization next, no?
Mr. Denner.
Denner, yeah. Goes down to engineering, and whoever's left is just like, right, those old systems we never use? We're going to use them in 10 minutes. So we're crawling through tubes and stuff to get this working. Okay, I assume this is going to be some daring shit up rewiring stuff, I assume.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I have no relevant focus. I have no talents because I am a very early on supporting character.
You're an ensign, as a matter of fact.
Now's your time to shine.
I've literally never been mentioned before this episode.
Right, exactly.
Okay, what's my difficulty?
Your difficulty is going to be 4.
Okay, and the ship, I assume, is rolling because I'm doing something to do with the ship?
Correct.
I still don't think I'm going to pull this off, but
there's momentum.
I think it's actually physically impossible unless I can I buy momentum as a supporting character? Should I use momentum?
I think a supporting character can. Yeah,
that's fine. I might just buy a dice because then it's actually physically possible for me to succeed.
What would you like me to roll for the ship?
Yes, and I think the complication range goes up as well on the ship.
It does.
3 or something like that. So let me roll my 3 dice. Wow, joining Maris in the complications club, but I got 2 successes. So I think unless the ship rolls a 1.
What would you like me to roll, sir?
What would be the relevant ones, Marco?
The system is going to be structure.
Sure.
The department is going to be engineering and tick focus. Yep. And then you're going to roll 1 die.
And hope we get 2 successes.
Well, let's see whether the luck holds out, shall we? No, 1 success.
That's 0.
Well, that's even worse.
So we failed and got a complication.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I was like, surely we must have less. Oh, no, apparently not.
So here's your complication. You have blown out the shield generators, so your shields have now collapsed.
They weren't working. Yeah, so I've seen on the bridge. They're like, shields are down, Captain.
Exactly, yes.
What could we do extra? Try to warp away? Is this something that we can try to see if we can pull out of this quantum thingy?
You know that you don't have enough power to escape the gravity well, you'll just blow out your engines.
Okay, that's a bad idea. Sorry, Captain.
Can we get a reading on how many of these creatures are attached to the hull?
Thousands, did you say?
Yeah, they're really small. They're tens of thousands of.
Okay, so no, because I was thinking like perhaps we can just go out and shoot at them with a shuttle or something.
Would we be able to take this into the atmosphere? Would we not be able to burn them off in the atmosphere?
The problem is that we are being attracted by this rift.
Of course,
so if we try to fly to the atmosphere, we might not be able to
yes,
move.
Good point. Okay, you're right.
And we use the teletransporter in some way. Is there a way that we can teletransport them away? I mean, or they're too tiny.
I guess that would take ages, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, Captain.
And we still try to keep on pulling away, or this is the maneuver that we did is everything we can do, Marco?
Yes, I'm trying to stay away as quick as we can, but it's inevitable. I can kind of maintain this for another 20 minutes, and then we're going straight into that thing.
Lieutenant Maris, can you tell us what's on the other side of this thing? Do we know anything?
Well, I'm getting from the sensor. So the sensors, I'm not getting much because obviously, sorry, I blew out most of the equipment. But my Esper capacity is again picking up different realities, glimpses of different universes, past, present, future, all of them combined together. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to end up or if we go through. We can only hope that
we will survive the crossing, right?
If we survive the crossing. And if it doesn't burn my brain out in the process.
Could it be possible to contact these entities? Because we assume that these entities attached to the hull are the same entities that we were speaking with, correct?
Correct. We could try using the universal translator that I adapted to the tricorder again.
Worth a try. Can you somehow transmit something through the hull so they can listen to us? Some vibrations, or how can we boost this message so they can hear it outside?
We can try and boost the message. I think we have enough capabilities to try and boost the message through a communication system.
Yep. Please do that and try to communicate with them. Perhaps with your special ability, you manage to reach them.
Okay, so we're going to first try and use the universal translator through the communication system.
Amy can help you.
So that will be reason and science for me.
Yep. And her assistance, since she's a non-controlled character, well, actually, Ed, you're not in the scene, so you want to roll for her?
Sure, I can do. What do I need?
Okay.
So she's got linguistics, cryptography, subspace communications. That'd be really helpful.
Subspace communications as a focus applies. You're going to roll probably
comms officer. What does that do?
Control or daring and engineering.
Control engineering, communications, officers of talent. When you attempt to task set with the ship's computers or communication systems, do not roll the ship's assist die. Instead, count the ship's die as if it had rolled a 1.
Okay, so that means you have 2 automatic successes. You need 2 more.
Right, so
you're going to roll 1 die. Maris is going to roll
die
2.
And a focus. Okay. Let's have a look. So 2 successes I would have got.
Roll mine.
So that's going to be
3 successes, 5 total.
3, 4, 5, yeah.
Okay, so that's
1 momentum.
1 momentum, correct? All right, so what do you say? What message are you transmitting?
So Emmy kind of looks at Maris.
Please detach yourself from our ship. We may not be able to survive the trip through the quantum rift.
She kind of like changes that and messes about with the frequencies to kind of send it to something similar that you had done before, and sends it through subspace on a ultra high frequency directed towards the creatures that are on the hull and focused in the rift, I suppose.
So you hear a response come back moments later. These are a collection of our colony that did not agree with the decision of the majority. We regret their actions in harming your vessel. And then you see like this flash of light. Like if you had one of the other screens near your console to show you the warp nacelles, the back end of the ship, you sort of see this flash of light around the nacelles, and then the creatures all get pushed away from your nacelles, and they start flying back into the quantum fissure.
Stolt says, "Did you want me to get out of here now, Captain?"
Please do.
You try to break free from the gravitational pull of the quantum fissure. The engines strain under the pressure, but whatever those creatures did to your warp nacelles, their departure hasn't changed a thing.
We need to ask it another question, Captain. We need to ask it another question, whether it can close the rift for
Go
us.
for it.
Okay,
If you
so
can communicate with these creatures, they already help us with this.
yes, we'll send this message to them right away.
Okay, and as you're doing that, you're getting a frantic call from your Ensign Denner, in the engineering room, that he says whatever those creatures were doing to the nacelles caused significant damage to the engines, potentially resulting in a core breach. Everyone's eyes just got buggy. And we'll leave it there for a second now that Douglas is back with us, and we will go to the planet. Douglas.
Wow, things are even better down here than last time. I just look up and be like, boom.
So you're on the planet. You're at Cressida. You're in the Cressida City. You've managed to bring the fires under control. You've also started to lower the temperature on the tanks that had not yet ignited to stabilize them so that they won't ignite. But in doing so, you blew out most of what was left of the power in the city. So all of that progress may now start to be undone as the power dissipates. You've got a couple of wounded men, not badly wounded, injured, I should say. Some of their suits are singed and one of their suits ripped open, but they're still in it. They're not walking away from the job.
Backups. Do we have backups? Did the battery survive the crash?
Yes, the battery survived the crash.
If I rewrited the batteries, how long would that give us? How long till the batteries conked out? If I just got it on maintaining the temperature stuff and the fire control.
The batteries will be good for several days.
Okay, so if I can get the batteries, that gives me several days to figure out something else. Fine, then let's get the batteries. See if I can rewire these things.
So that would be a daring and an engineering task once again.
I assume power systems is relevant.
Absolutely.
If anything else? Nope. Okay, how many successes am I looking at? You know what? I think the other guys might need the momentum. Like, if I fail, I think it might not be the end of the world, but...
3, because a lot of systems are damaged, so it's not like the easiest thing to get them back up and running.
That is 3 successes exactly.
That is amazing. Okay, yeah, so you've spent the next like 10, 15 minutes rerouting circuitry to get the backup batteries back online, and they're working, they're humming along, and you've got that fire under control. The temperature on those tanks is going back down.
I guess I'll go check on my guys and see if they're fine.
Yeah, a couple of them are,
Singed.
a couple of them are coughing a bit because one of their breathing apparatuses got damaged, but other than that, they seem okay.
You know what? We might as well multitask while we're down here. This stuff's it's going to stay. This is fine. This is safe now for a while, right? For 3 days.
Yep.
You know what? We'll take a bit of a hike. We'll go fix the shuttle pod while we're down.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, nothing else is going on at the
Exactly. Now, is anyone calling down to their chief engineer?
They have other problems.
Well, if I'm in sick bay, would I be able to kind of hear what's going on, or would I not be part of that kind of like conversation at all?
It depends on what you mean by hear what's going on.
I guess, would I be listening to sort of like intercom channels as the doctor, or would I be kind of just...
You could certainly turn that on and pay attention.
I will probably use the ship's communication, I guess, depending how far out of orbit are we? Are we still in orbit?
You're in orbit, yeah.
Yeah, in which case I'll call down and go, "Hey, Rhodes." Yeah, communication.
What was the last thing that I knew Scott Travis was doing?
I was...
what was the last thing I knew you were doing? I think you had crashed your shuttle was the last thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
I
the
crashed
shuttle
my
had
shuttle.
crashed.
Yeah, that's
So-
it. Yeah.
Hey, Scott, you still with the shuttle? We're just heading your way now.
No, we are in the Magellan and we are heading towards some kind of gravity well or something.
Are you
What's the-
going to come get us?
No, we'll probably beam you up here, knowing how well he loves a good old beam.
Like, we're just going to go fix... If you left the shuttle pod, we'll just go fix that and take that back up. You've just said we're going into a gravity well. You've not said we are being kidnapped by a gravity well.
Then I say, I think there's something to do with the core breach, a warp core breach. We might need some
What?
assistance. I'm just kind of
What's-
thinking. I mean, I look around at some of the others and go, maybe you don't want to come back. I mean, that seems perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, Rhodes, you can hear
What's that?
you can hear in the background the red alert siren
Yeah.
is going off.
Yeah. Hang on, Doc. I'm going to call Matt and see what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to call Matt.
Now you're gonna
voice both these people.
now you're gonna have a conversation with yourself, Douglas. Yes.
At least I'll do the accent. Denner here. This is Rhodes. What's going on? I was calling to the doctor and he said there's some sort of core breaching thing. Yes. The ship's overloading. We're just trying to shut down the core at the moment. But the aliens were attacking the warps in the cells and the big thing opened up in the thing and he's just rambling on about a bunch of stuff that Rhodes is like, what on earth are you talking about? And he's like, give me a status report. And so what is Denner, what is actually going on? What can Denner assess exactly what's happening?
Okay, so a quantum fissure, you're being pulled by the gravity well of a quantum fissure, and you have about 20 minutes left before the ship is pulled into the anomaly. The warp engines were pulsating at irregular frequencies because of something that these alien creatures were doing to the nacelles, and it was as if the nacelles were existing simultaneously in two different realities at once, and that caused some significant damage to the engines, which could potentially cause a catastrophic core breach. He's getting conflicting readings from the engines, most likely due to that duplicating effect.
Are you in the process of attempting a core shutdown? Yes. We're just thinking about it, but as soon as we do that, we're probably going straight into this gravity well. Right. Denner, you've got this. I have my trust in you, because I think one of my values is you have to put trust in the person next to you. So this is, I don't know, would this be a negative application of it if I'm like, I have faith in you to do your job and not be like, rush back? Depends if he's going to fuck up royally or not.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Perhaps we should challenge that value. You have to trust the person next to you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, I'm looking at that's not quite relevant. It's next to you, so it'd be like if he was down here.
Right, he's not next to you, is he?
I'm seeing that. Yeah, the wording of that's slightly different. You know what? I'm just trying to think if he would insist on like getting beamed up or not.
I guess it depends on how much he, as the chief engineer, loves his ship.
This is how much faith he has in his own engineering team. You know what? He does have faith in his own team. Yeah, he has faith in other people to do their jobs.
Okay.
Everyone else has failed horribly, apparently, at their own jobs on the ship, including Denner, but he doesn't know that yet. So, right, we're double timing it back to the shuttle, and we'll hopefully get that up and running and join you when we can. Roads out.
Okay. We are now going to switch back to the Magellan. What is the crew doing? You have 20 minutes left, which means you have 2 tasks left to perform.
Here's a question, Marco.
Yes, go ahead.
What's going to happen first? The core breach or us getting sucked into the gravity well?
That information is unclear from the perspective of your engineer.
Because, yeah, escaping from the gravity well is a non-issue if we're just going to explode.
Correct.
But we already did 3 tasks, no?
What's that?
The communication, the polarization, and kind of the dish thingy that we're trying to close the rift. We did 3 tasks.
We're waiting
on to 1.
for a response. We already sent the message through before we cut. So
Yeah.
we're waiting for a response.
Tony's right. We've done 3. task.
We're only
This is
missing.
last shot.
Well, no, the message itself, both messages count as one task.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
still 3 things that we did.
Right.
So we have 10 minutes left.
No. You still have 20 minutes left. Don't argue with the
You're
GM.
muted,
You're
so
muted.
Okay, I'm not going to argue for extra time.
Yeah, don't argue for extra time.
Captain, can we send the core that's going to breach into the anomaly ahead of us and then set it off, which would then...
Could zipper the rift.
Do you think a warp core explosion is gonna close the rift?
It's theoretically possible.
It's not-
Helfen Stoltz says, don't know, I'm not an engineer.
The thing that's being attracted is the warp engine itself. Therefore, it's the power in the warp core. Therefore, if you get rid of the warp core, we're probably not going to get pulled in anymore. 'Cause the warp core will get magnetized to
Is this Matt talking?
the thing.
Matt
'Cause
Denner?
that's what's pulling us in, right?
Is that Matt Denner talking?
If Denner is involved in the conversation, he can.
He was.
Okay.
If it's the
well,
warp
no, the
resonance,
the gravity is what's pulling you in.
right? So it's not the warp was the aliens, which is now being resolved.
Correct.
So what's stopping us from just like putting all power into engines?
Because we mentioned that and he said that it was gonna blow, no? Because I asked to warp.
Your engines can't escape the gravity of the well just by going to warp.
So we need to sort of like somehow stop gravity.
Well, warp fields are inherently warp gravity. That's how they work.
If the warp core is ejected and it blows in and seals the rift, then there's no more gravity. Because it's
Well,
sealed.
we don't know if that's gonna seal the rift. That's the question.
It's
I'm
theoretically it's a theoretical possibility.
We're also very unlikely to survive because we have no shields.
Yeah, scratch that, Captain.
asking. Well,
We might survive.
there are 2 things there, the captain says. One, first would be how these entities will take that we launch an explosion within the rift. And the second, like, we don't know if that's really gonna close the thing. In any case, we should try to stop this critical core to go critical.
Like
That would be the
we'd
first
have
thing.
to shut down the core, and then the engines lose all power.
Well, do whatever you can, Denner. Go for it.
Let's go down to basic
Okay.
impulse.
Core shut down then.
Oh, fix it. Don't shut it down. Fix it.
Excuse me, Captain? Yes, sir. He just sort of like, he just sort of stands there being like, how on earth do I fix this?
I'm not an
Just a
engineer.
spanner.
Fix it.
It's like Chernobyl, where it's like the thing's exploding. Just fix it.
Something to consider. Although we don't have shields, we still can polarize the hull plating. So if we
No,
needed
we
to,
failed.
we failed on polarize the hull plating. But
We failed to polarize the shields. You remember, we failed everything.
wow, boy, am I going to be working a desk job at Starbase 4 for the rest of my life?
No, I think you'll be dead along with everyone else.
Captain, your armory officer has just told you that you've suffered a hull breach from the strain of the gravity. It's starting to affect the structure of the ship. They've sealed off the breach, so now rules-wise, you can sustain 5 more breaches because you have a structure of 6 before your structure is destroyed. So you're
Denner
going
has
to
to fix-
eject the warp core? Is that what's happening?
No, we're fixing it.
You're going to fix the warp core. Okay.
That's what the captain told me to do.
Okay.
We might need the
How
warp
do I
core.
fix this? How do I make this right, Marco? Tell me, because Denner don't know.
You want to put the hydro spanner in the thingy-majig, and then you want to kind of like reset it, turn it all off, and start again.
Right,
Turn it off for 10 minutes.
reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. That usually works. Where's my sonic screwdriver?
They're bad, right?
They are
Doubly bad because I don't know if they established you can even eject them in these old ships.
Yeah, I don't know if you
The
can
vertical
eject
ones go
them.
out and out.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
So we might really be
for.
fucked.
Okay, so if you need, so Douglas or Denner, I should say, to stabilize the reactor is a difficulty 3 daring or control plus engineering task, and this is
You
actually
better use it.
this is actually an extended task with the
2 hours.
We've got 20 minutes.
track. The progress track is equal to the ship's engines. So you need to have 7
Jeez.
You need to tick off
7 successes in 20 minutes.
No, not 7 successes. So when you succeed in a task, the department that you're using is the impact that goes against the work track. So what is your engineering department for your character?
Let's have a look. I think it's all right. I think it's 4. Yeah.
4. Okay. So if you succeed at the task, you'll have applied 4 points to the work track. So you'll need 3 more points after that.
How long is an interval?
That is not a timed task, but there
is a time.
Yes. You have 2 more tasks left before the anomaly pulls you through.
So is this extended task one of those tasks?
Yes.
Okay, so I will have to spend 10 minutes attempting to make sure we don't explode.
Yes.
Okay.
Does the ship roll anything?
To not explode? Probably no.
I don't think it does, no. It doesn't mention it does right here in the stabilizing the reactor rules, so.
Is the warp core part of the warp drive?
Yes.
Then I get a focus, so... Okay.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. So we need... What's the difficulty on this extended task? Oh, so we need 3 to even, okay, I'm going to buy a dice with the momentum. Okay.
Look at that. 3 successes.
3 successes.
Now I just need to do that once more.
That is amazing.
2 dice.
Nice.
So, we're halfway there.
You're halfway there.
1 task left to do, and the only task is to basically repair the warp core.
No. Well, no, this is all within the 10-minute, this bit. So whether I succeed or fail, I think, is within this. Is it?
No, that was 1 task. Now you have to do... The second task is going to be another 10 minutes.
Literally, so we're going in... So whether I succeed or fail, we're going in.
You'll be going in alive.
It's whether we go in a million pieces or as a semi-intact ship.
Exactly.
So in that intervening 10 minutes, I will have run... This is Scott Travis will have run to the transporters because, I know I could just phone it in, but it's more dramatic that way, and try and see if we can get a lock on the engineering team that are on the planet.
Okay. Denner, give me that roll.
No, please don't, because there's sensor interference.
You want to spend some threat?
Sorry. Well, Denner. Oh, yeah, is this for the ship? Okay, fine. I'm going to give you some threat, because if we don't... How much... I'll tell you what, I'll give you 3 threat, because we need to not die.
Okay.
It's important.
So that's 4 dice.
Oh, my God.
Wonderful.
I've managed to 3 dice, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 of those threat that you gave me, so I'm only adding 1 to the pool, to cause another structure breach. So now you've got 2. Okay, so it's tense on the bridge. The alarm, the red alert is blaring. The ship is shaking. You're all in your chairs, wondering why there aren't any seatbelts. And Denner, you're down in engineering with a skeleton crew because the chief engineer brought a very large contingent of the engineering team to the planet's surface. And you managed to stabilize the warp core, which was not an easy task. Every time you were inputting information, you were seeing that information change. It was like the warp nacelles were in a quantum state. But you somehow managed to get around all of that, stabilize the warp core, and the threat of a core breach is over. Let's switch for a second to the planet. Chief Engineer, you're at the shuttle pod. Yep, we're backing up 20 minutes. You're at the shuttle pod.
And, I suppose I'm oh, look at these interesting people down here. As I wander through their city in my spacesuit.
They're all looking at you quite strangely, but they're, they've seen your crew before, so they're just kind of waving.
Okay.
And none of them seem interested in interacting with you.
Right, in a hurry. Let's go see what Travis has done to this shuttle pod. How badly has Travis broken my shuttle? Scott broken my shuttle pod.
It's not as bad as it looks. At the outside, there's a lot of dents and dings. There's some structural issues that you can deal with later. It might be a little dicey, but you can in a pinch, you can get her up in the air, but you just got to get those engines taken care of. So if you're in a rush, you can do a daring and an engineering task to repair the engines. The ship seems like it got clipped by some debris. Part of the engine block has sustained some damage. So you just have to reroute some circuits to make the ship go again. As I guess as Spock would say on Strange New Worlds, make the ship go.
So a daring engineering, I assume?
Yes. Do you want to use jury rigging?
Yeah, I'll use jury rigging focus, so that's fine. How many successes am I needing?
You are going to need 2.
And what does the rugged design do? Oh, I can re-roll a d20 when I repair. Yeah. Okay. So if I fuck up completely, I can re-roll a single d20. How many was it? 2 successes, was it? Or 1?
Yep. 2.
Focus. Let's go. Does the engineering team help in any way? But I passed, so...
Yeah, it brought the difficulty down from 3.
Excellent.
Okay, so you have a momentum. So you've spent the next 10 minutes getting these engines ready. Ship is ready to go. You've got it jury-rigged. What are you doing? Taking her up? Can you fit your engineering team? Probably, right?
Well, I assumed I
Takes 6, I think.
I don't know how many people I took. I assume
Probably
6, I think, is
probably 6, yeah. Okay, so
6, I think, is seated. You could get people standing.
Yep, you get her in the air. We're going to switch again. So do you want to use this momentum for anything?
It's just going to disappear, isn't it? Next week. Can I spend the momentum? No, I need to do a trade. I can't think of any other additional momentum spends I could do that would cost more than 1.
Okay, question. Are you piloting the shuttle?
A trait would... I'm the only character.
Okay, that's...
There's no supporting characters here. They're literally nameless. They have no personalities. I would have to spend momentum to give them a personality.
Give me a control and a con task for piloting the shuttle.
This is going to suck.
And if you want to buy a die with that extra momentum, you can.
You know what? Will I buy a die to not get sucked into the thing instantly when I get up there? Yeah.
I don't know if I can't answer that question.
Why should I say these things? They just give you ideas.
Okay, so you take the shuttle up and you get into orbit. You see the Magellan. It is like nose to nose with this spatial anomaly. It is dangerously close to the being pulled in. You're starting to feel the turbulence of the gravity of the anomaly. You know, it's starting to overpower the engines, so you're going to have to throttle back on the engines so you don't burn them out, trying to fight against the gravity.
No. And now that we're in space, can I send out like a distress call?
Yes, you can.
Then I will send out a distress call.
To who and what does it say?
Just generally out, because there's those ships that took away the people can't have been gone for more than a couple hours.
That's true. Okay. So you're sending out a distress call, like a general distress call. Dr. Travis, you've run to the transporter room.
I get there and go, right, lock onto the planet for that. And they're like, he's in space or anything.
Scanning.
Yes,
I can't find him.
And then we switch to the engineering room. You've got that warp core. We're now the timeline is now like the timeline of events has now caught up with everything. So you've just averted that warp core breach, and the entire ship lurches forward. Everyone falls to the deck. We go to the bridge. Captain, you're like the gravity is pushing you against the back seat of the captain's chair.
I'm asking Sarah, Holt, Lieutenant. This is Lieutenant Holt.
Yes, Captain.
We cannot keep on fighting. The ship is gonna break if we don't.
Okay, Captain. She just like puts her sort of like hands up a little bit.
I sent a message to the whole ship. Get ready. We are going inside a rift. We don't know what's gonna happen, but it's the only way that we will survive. Hold fast.
We see the Magellan and the shuttle pod Falero shudder violently under the strain of overwhelming gravitational forces as they're both dragged into the quantum fissure. Then reality fractures. You're in 2 places at once. You're on the Magellan. Chief Engineer Rhodes, you're on the Falero. But you are also on another slightly different Magellan, another Falero, and then another, and another. You feel every version of yourself, some alive, some screaming in pain, others on the brink of death. There are no stars, just darkness, endless, absolute blackness, and something else watching.